I forget the specifics of this. I was driving around in the desert. Oh, I've been traveling a lot, so maybe this was in Bakersfield. I saw like what I'm not going to be able to describe it very specifically, but it was like a scary car full of like scary people. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
I
was like,
that. You were in Bakersfield, you said?
Yeah, I was in Bakersfield.
It could have been the band Korn.
Well, I will tell you about the Korn situation. But I was like, I was totally freaked out by this car, and then I was like keeping an eye on it, and I drove past them from the back, and their back was covered in Grateful Dead stickers, and I'm like, how scary can you be if you're a Grateful Dead fan?
I don't know. Those like, those like weird acid freaks that like hang out and sell like lace stuff. Those guys are pretty psycho. So
as long as I don't have any business dealings with them, I assume I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to attack, but they will sell you counterfeit acid.
Yeah.
I was in Bakersfield. I was visiting my grandma for her 100th birthday.
Whoa! Congrats to her.
Yeah.
Wow. I think big hundo. Yeah.
Yeah. 100 years. I think
Centennial.
Nate is joining us, right?
All right.
We're in.
For whatever reason, I'm borrowing my partner's like 2003 web camera because none of our webcams work, and for whatever reason, it was defaulting to a microphone that doesn't exist in the
Well, that's cool. Are you coming out of the nice mic that's right in front of you right now?
Yes.
It's like the Monolith 2001.
David, you look good.
I was just saying, so I prepared for this ep by wearing the brightest shirt I could find. I actually sat down in a different shirt, and I was like, no, Faygo is allowed, so I need to be wearing a loud shirt. And when I change shirts, that's my dedication to this podcast.
You know what? It looks fantastic. Plus, you're in front of a bunch of books, which is really pretty.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm like an expert. Like, these are all books on Faygo, actually. Faygo history.
The juxtaposition, you're like the Slavoj Zizek of grocery.
I think you look very dignified, like Jeffrey Toobin, actually. Like, for people who don't know who Jeffrey Toobin is or don't remember, I always like to explain it to everybody. He's the New Yorker guy who got onto like a New Yorker Zoom call during the pandemic and just started like jacking it. He just started like masturbating on camera during a meeting.
Yeah, I don't remember how that played out. Like, did he get fired over that, I imagine?
I think he got a leave of absence, or maybe he got fired.
He got a leave of absence, and then I think he did a tearful interview on like CNN and was welcomed back into the fold of the elite.
He's back on CNN now. I saw him and burst into laughter.
He had to like pinky swear that he would not do it again to CNN.
They were like gaming out some sort of. It was something that was done for subscribers of the New Yorker or something, where they were gaming out like the.
Watch Jeffrey Toobin jack off for 50 extra bucks.
Yeah, then he was just like, okay, well, I think politically they'd probably do this.
I've thankfully never done that on the radio.
Never pulled a Toobin.
Never done a Toobin. Never been Toobin.
Really? And you're on the radio a lot.
I don't think that you should. I mean, I think people can hear it in your voice if you're doing it, even if you don't have the camera on you, right?
Not if you're a good actor.
Like how the people on the phone with Louis C.K. found out, I think.
Well, welcome, Nate. And I want to give you a little grief because you warned us that David would be late, but you were the one that was late, actually.
Yeah, I feel, well, I was kind of counting on David to be late to be And then, yeah. But I did some last minute scrambling because I realized I didn't know where all my technologies were, how to put them in order.
Understandable.
Ow.
You're good.
Yeah. It's kind of shows the juxtaposition of old and new media, because you are in this studio, right? And then David and I, we're basically professional podcasters. We just know, let's just chill at home.
That's
like
right.
Stern. He does a cheap podcast from home.
David and I are like Tucker and Buckley Carlson.
Who's Buckley
I
Carlson?
don't get that reference.
Buckley is his older brother. I found out.
Wait, whose older brother? Okay, Buckley. Okay, I like it. I like it. Does Buckley wear a bow tie?
They both have the uck syllable in there. Do they have like an older brother named like Fuckward? Fuckward Carlson.
Man, when Chef is not on the radio anymore, it's a little spicy.
I went to a morning show host convention a couple times. One was in Chicago and one was in Dallas, Texas. And if you get a bunch of like radio guys on the stage, they love to like drop F-bombs because they don't get to do it professional, like in their job. So when they get on stage off the air, they want to let you know that, yeah, they can curse and they're a little edgy actually.
Oh, man. I can't imagine what it's like hanging out with a crew of Dallas radio DJs.
Not as interesting as you might think it is. I know it felt very much like a trade show, honestly.
Landman and Chuck the Freak.
Yeah, do they have the best in soundboard technology?
There are guys that are trying to sell you soundboards. They're like we should introduce the podcast. I'm a fan of these boys from their podcast. I know that one of them hates to introduce a podcast. So my apologies in advance. Nate, you're always reluctant to introduce a podcast. But
Gingerbread Man down, clean up on aisle podcast.
This is Clean Up on Aisle podcast, the dirty truth about grocery stores. I'm Jeff Harmetz, joined with my co-host Adam Flixton.
Hello, Jeff.
And we are joined today by previous guests, but they've never been back together as their perfect union. It's David Allen and Nate Faustyn from Loose Lips.
Hi, hey, thank you for having us. Great intro. Great intro. That was a pros intro. I know Nate, as you said, Nate doesn't like intros. I'm a huge fan of intros, so I respect when a good one, like when I hear a good one, and I just heard a good one. That was a great intro.
And I'm willing always to set certain things, certain expectations I have in my own podcast. I'm willing to set it aside and kind of vacation in the realm of intro.
We've had both on, we've had you both on individually, but never as the Loose Meat presents Loose Lips forum. Your comedy crew is Loose Lips. The podcast is Loose Meat. I'm a big listener. And other things that you do in your podcast, which we've never done on our show, the Peen Zone.
Okay.
You guys,
Are we going to just steal their bits?
Please. We made our weeks go the people. Everybody,
I'm happy to lend it. Yeah.
All right. Listen, we didn't come up with the penis.
the Peen Zone is open source. You can franchise your own Peen Zone.
That's exactly it. Basically, the day that Lenny Kravitz popped out of his pants, that it was open to all podcasters.
Welcome to the Peen Zone.
but you guys always discuss the latest in Hollywood penises.
Yep. That's our beat, basically. The Hollywood penis meat. We're on it.
And we've never really, opened the Peen Zone here, but we talked about Jeffrey Toobin. So
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's
The most recent peen that I can think of was Zombie Peen, and 28 years later, whatever. Yeah.
I had to tell you, I just sat down and finished it. We did not finish it when it came out, and so I finally watched through it, and it makes me very embarrassed to say that I walked out probably 30 seconds before I would have seen the most famous peen of the last 5 years, basically. Now, one of the things when I was doing my research on this penis, I have to say that I was a little disappointed to find out. Oftentimes in Hollywood, it's there's a few special effects at play, and 28 years later, even though it's a British production, there's it's no different. There is a little Hollywood magic, but also because there is a minor on screen with the penis, they have to legally. You can't have a naked human next to a minor after the whole Jimmy Savile thing in Britain, I guess. This topsy-turvy basis.
Because they were letting Jimmy Savile, yeah.
Right, yeah. Guess what? Yeah, what's this? Gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Jibble.
They were on the set of 28 years later going, oh, damn Savile, we can't make the movie we want.
Special effect budget through the roof. But so they had a really amazingly, normally David and I are not huge fans of the fake penis sleeve that goes over a penis. But in this case, I think we can both agree that skirting the issue of adult nudity around a minor by putting on a brief that has a giant fake penis attached to it is a pretty great way to skirt the law. Somehow the censor board in Britain was like, oh, okay, you've done your due diligence. This child is not around adult nudity. Everything is fine.
When you say you walked out of the movie, did you like see it in a theater and then leave? It was like too gnarly for you?
It was a little too gnarly for what are the people I went with, and in being a supportive, I have a free pass to go to the movies anytime I want. So for me, it was like, okay, you know what? This is not going the way it was not the right day to see that movie. I would say it is pretty gnarly.
So I tried to watch it with my partner. We watched it just at home on HBO.
We're not talking about Bone Temple.
We're not talking, not Bone Temple, but the first 28 New Year's Lee, not Bone Temple. I haven't seen it yet. Okay. And my partner would like ask me to shut it off. Like she's like, this is actually too gross for me. I do not want to watch it anymore.
I don't want to sell anybody out in my personal life, but my situation is very similar.
Yeah, David, I'm kind of with you that I've seen a lot of really gross movies, and this one doesn't stick out as particularly gross, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've not seen 28 Years Later, but I want to see it. The reason like I didn't see it was because I kind of felt like, I don't know, Danny Boyle, so many years later, can he actually commit to being that intense? Who's to say? But
if there's no shot of someone climbing in a toilet, then
exactly. Yeah, I do. After hearing about the zombie penis, I'm very intrigued. I wonder what the logic of making it so big is. Like, was it that like part of the zombie disease is your tick swells, or when your body decomposes?
Yeah,
the rest it's part of the logic here.
They do explain it. It is part of the logic of the movie.
Yeah,
like
okay.
it is addressed.
Zombies have huge ticks. Cool.
Yeah, it's the same way urine is stored in the testicles. It turns out when you have this zombie disease, it's stored in the wiener.
Get it? Okay,
but
I'm in.
Well, I would guess they probably cast this fella because he was very well endowed, and then they were like, oh shoot, we forgot we wrote a 13-year-old boy in this premise. Darn it. Well, I guess we're gonna.
Does the kid have to be like right next to the penis? Why can't they just like film him with the penis, and then the next day you film the 13-year-old going like, what? And then you cut movie magic, you cut it together. Why do they have to be in the same room?
Well, this is a Dogman 95 movie, Dave. They could do everything for real.
So, as the innovators of the Peen Zone, I'll ask the Loose Meat Boys if they did, like, if you could go to a Sears or a Target and buy the underwear with the huge fake penis hanging off of it, would y'all rock that in your day-to-day life? Like,
maybe not in my day-to-day, but in like certain circumstances where like, you know, maybe if I'm trying to like get into a club, it would be helpful so that my pants were stuffed with a gigantic fake penis.
If you have your I'm trying to scary moment.
everybody making a decision. They're like, who do I pick? Guy with the gigantic dick or not? That's who are going to go.
Oh boy, well, maybe we should close the Peen Zone. It's and hopefully MV can edit in the sound effect, the Lenny Kravitz guitar lick that is company.
We'll give you all everything you need to set up your own Teen Zone. Trust me. We really want a franchise.
All right. Maybe for the first and last time, here's Clean Up on Aisle podcast closing the Peen Zone. Welcome back to the show, boys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's been a little while, but I want to just check in with everybody on how their grocery shopping's going. I know that everything is more expensive probably since all four of us have been back together. How's everybody coping? Do we have any deals, any strategies for shopping at the moment?
Yeah, what are our grocery strats? Let me think. Nothing has too much changed. I have my places. I was actually just telling, we have a friend, Alex Schulman, HLP TV alum with us, who just moved, and he just moved a couple blocks. And I was saying, how great is that you're only moving 2 blocks, so you don't even have to change your grocery stores. Like that's like, once you get your grocery stores locked in, they're locked. And so even as the economy struggles, maybe I'll go to Smart and Final a little bit more, but ultimately, maybe I'll go to Grocery Outlet, Bargain Market a touch more, but otherwise, I'm sticking to my regulars, my Ralph's, my Trader Joe's, occasionally a Vons, although not as much in Trump's economy.
You broke the story to me, Dave, off camera. I mean, we talk about grocery stores just in our general life, and you broke the story to me that we're getting a Sprouts 3 blocks from my house.
Yes.
And so I had to really, that'll obviously be the largest change in my grocery habits, but I'm about a year away, it sounds like. But I'm going to have to really reconcile that.
Take a year to prepare.
Economic impact. Yeah. I have to put money away.
When I was in LA, I used to love Sprouts, and
That's good stuff.
but it was the price. Like I would be like, oh, whatever, that's $1 more, and like, oh, but that sounds good. It's organic, and basically by the end of it, it was way more than I expected, especially compared to Grocery Outlet or something like that. Maybe double what you would spend at a Grocery Outlet. Yeah. So yeah, they've
Recently, just kind of to your point, where like those little dollars add up. I've changed one of my haunts. So actually, I've changed 2 of them. I am now a Costco member. So that's changed certain things in my life. And I'm really, really enjoying that. I'm keeping.
So you're buying it all? Is there all Costco or the gigantic version of things?
It's kind of easy as a 2-person household because there's just so much you can just walk right past because they're just things it's just not even feasible for you to get. And actually, for as long as the lines are, they get you out pretty fast. So that really has kind of changed my brain. I was always pretty resistant to it just because I did. Also, it's the barrier to entry, paying a membership fee is, I never thought I would spend enough money there in a year to make it up. And I mean, I've probably already done it. And I'm doing this fucking crazy, insane thing where I'll go and then there will be like a rebate. So a huge thing of granola will be $4 off. So I'll get 3 of them. And then when I'm down to 1.5 of them, I'm like, I got to go back to Costco. But it's changed the way I anticipate need, which as much as I've actually enjoyed the experience, I'm not really liking that about myself. But then I'm also doing this thing where I started going to Super King, which is a small, I think it's an Armenian chain in Los Angeles that is really specialized in produce. And what I'm finding there is even though the prices are really great, I'm actually spending way more money because every time I'm like, whoa, I've never eaten an unripened date before. I've never done this. Oh shit, there's 3 different types of dragon fruit. I got to get one of every one of them. And so I'm getting way more variety, but then I'm at checkout, I'm like really starting to sweat. I'm eating whole coconuts.
You're living in the House of Dragons.
Nate, which Costco do you go to? If it's not, I don't want any of your fans to like stalk you.
It's I go to the Alhambra Costco.
Okay.
And,
That's not what I expected.
Me neither.
yeah.
Okay, also news.
So I had gone to the Atwater Los Feliz location, which probably is that where you assumed I was going?
Yeah.
And that is hell on earth.
It's a nightmare. I was gonna say I didn't think you could deal with that. I can't deal with the Atwater Costco. Out of question.
In a secular town like Los Angeles, this is as close to church as it gets. It's horrifying. So actually that was another factor in why I didn't want a Costco membership. But once I started going the Alhambra one, and actually, if you're willing to take a day, what I like to do, Costco is not open as late on the weekends. So this is more of a winter time tip. But pro tip for early sunrise or sunsets is go to the beach, have yourself a nice day, go to Venice, go to Santa Monica, and as you're leaving, go to the Marina Del Rey Costco because they're so busy going to Erewhon on the west side that no one's at the Costco. You can get in and out.
David,
Sorry. Real quickly on that, Nate. A little tiff. I know that you and your lady friend like to go to the west side. There is a Costco business center on the closets. It's southwest, but it's not that far south of wherever the airport. That's a whole thing in and of itself. So
Wait, what's a Costco business center?
it's basically like if you have a restaurant, this is where you get your hot dogs. This is where you get your burgers. If you're a caterer or something like that. It's a wild time.
And anybody can go in, or do you have to have a proper?
No,
Okay.
The Costco card. Yeah.
Oh, well, I will go to the South Bay this week.
I need 70 sterno, so that's perfect for me.
That's how I keep my house. I just walk from Riverville and popping cans of sterno in the winter. I saw a guy with, clearly he had a Chinese restaurant and I cannot tell you how much rice he had. It was like probably getting into tons of rice that he was walking out of like multiple of these huge cars that were piled up to the top.
You need a forklift to get to your car?
Yeah.
David, how are you pinching pennies aside from like literally pinching pennies?
I don't. I should more, but food for me is like one of the few sources of pleasure I have. So like the economy being worse is not going to make me change my food. That's not Trump. You're not going to change my diet. Okay. So there's a war with Iran. I don't care. I'm still spending. Okay. I'm still going to be at Whole Foods giving Jeff Bezos all my money.
You spend like it's peacetime.
Yeah. Consumer. Yeah, I don't know. I that's just something like, not that I'm like eating fucking foie gras or something. Like I don't really eat that. Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I definitely wouldn't eat foie gras. But
Also, I think it's a domestic product. We're not actually bringing it in from France, so there's no tariffs on foie gras.
Yeah. Local water.
Local was bloated goose.
and I had caviar for the first time maybe a year ago. Very strange experience. It's like just the texture of it, I guess I liked it. I mean, I'm a seafood fan, but like, I don't know. Caviar is have you ever had caviar, Jeff?
Yeah, I've had a lot of caviar. We've been the radio.
La-di-da. Okay.
On the radio.
You do that down at the radio convention?
Well, like, there's places in Los Angeles that specialize in getting caviar, and we have some friends who really like to go to like the Eastern European country stores that specialize just in caviar and get caviar.
That's the only place I could get it. I had to go to like a special Russian grocery store to find it because not places even have it.
We do have bone spoons in my house for caviar. We have toyed with I do the morning show here in Joshua Tree as my day job, and we've toyed with giving me a wacky morning DJ name of Jeff Caviar.
Oh. Sounds fancy.
And like, so my co-host doesn't eat seafood. I made him try caviar live on the radio for the first time. And we did do, like, Rihanna has a very famous viral photograph of her putting caviar in a chicken McNugget from McDonald's.
That's okay.
And we did caviar. We did caviar mayonnaise and dipped chicken McNuggets live on the radio. And I have to say it was really good. Like, live on the air, I made a mayonnaise from scratch. We threw some caviar in there, dipped some McNuggets in there. It was pretty dope.
Did you bone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you? So I'm allergic to seafood. So would you say that caviar is similar to like the seeds in an okra?
No, I would say the texture is a little bit more gummy than that. I thought it's almost like closer to a mushroom or something. I don't know. It's not really fully equivalent. I mean, a chewy.
So, yeah, see, it's very salty. It's like, yeah,
that's why I think it would work on a McNugget because the saltiness would add something to it.
So now that we're talking all caviar, Adam, how are you penny pinching these days?
I guess I go to grocery outlet. I don't go to Stater Brothers that much. I will go to Walmart more than Stater Brothers these days, but grocery outlets probably my go-to. I don't know. How am I penny pinching? Costco. It's not that different from what it used to be.
Okay.
Being honest.
I guess I'm doing it. I'm just sending my partner to the grocery store and not looking at the receipts that much. She's been more active in the shopping. But and also this is going to sound really snotty, but like I'm making sure that I eat all of my leftovers these days. We cook a lot, and sometimes you're like, we're going to throw out that leftover. I don't really want to eat it. And like right now I'm like, there's leftovers in the refrigerator. They are goddamn getting eaten no matter what.
And yeah, I like that policy.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad with accidentally letting produce go bad. And when it gets like this, I'm like, I'm letting a fucking $2 cucumber rot right there. Like,
it's so disappointing when produce goes bad. Again, it goes so fast. It sucks. But what are you going to do? Although I have been putting, those little cucumbers that you can get, like you buy them in a whole package.
Yeah.
Little. I put them in salt water. And the
salt water, okay.
Just like a little bit of salt water, and you put it in the fridge in like a jar or whatever. And
it's a pre-pickle.
And they will still be pretty crispy when you need to use them a few days.
Okay. Do they taste salty?
Sure.
Yeah, but you're gonna use them in a salad or whatever. So, and you're not going crazy with the salt. It's just a little bit to whatever kick them down the road.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Love that.
And that's the cucumber zone.
We're back in the peen zone.
Well, should we I was gonna say, should we dive into the topic at hand, but maybe we want to like spray each other. It's more shake it up, blast one another.
I should kind of feel for this podcast.
They're hard to get, although
Galco, so you can get them.
Yeah.
Oh, you should explain what Galco's is real quick. I don't know if we brought it up on the show before.
Yeah.
Specialty soda shop in Highland Park, Los Angeles, that is kind of 1950s themed, and they play like classic early 1950s rock and roll and sell old style candy and old style sodas from around the world. And they also sell sandwiches that are really big that they call like the Gut Buster or something.
Yeah, and there are no substitutions.
Oh, they're fat about that.
It is so confounding that you can't say because they make them in front of you, but you're not allowed to say, "Hey, no mayonnaise on an Italian sandwich."
This is supposed to be the 1950s, back when people would respect their sandwich maker and not make requests.
Right. Well, yeah, and white bread and mayonnaise was the top of the pops. I get it, but Gelco's for more. If you want to dive deeper into Gelco's, I highly recommend the Huell Hauser episode where he goes to Gelco's because it is. It's Huell Hauser. It turns out that is his like natural state of being, is being like hearing girl groups sing and looking at. He's like, "This is a Coca-Cola with peppermint." It's just everything. Like the normal aw shucks wonder that man has is amplified by 1,000 when it's in soda. You got cucumber sodas?
I must have seen the Huell Hauser on Galco's, but like growing up in Southern California, like I guess every couple of years, all of the local TV stations would like do like for their feature that day, like they'd send the weatherman to Galco's and be like, "Can you believe it? There's a store that just sells soda." And they like, I feel like I saw that piece like recur. You'd like a different version of it every couple of years. Like we had a different weatherman send him down.
It's always that eccentric owner guy being interviewed, right?
Yeah.
He's got his hat.
He's still going. I would say, I live pretty close to it, and so I probably go, once every couple of months. And the guy's still cooking. I mean, he's still running the show, and it's kind of a weird business now because they sell. It's always empty, save for like one person who special orders a case of whatever East Coast, like some sort of like Savannah, Georgia specialty or whatever, like a lot of cheer wine, that type of stuff.
They also sell beer. They sell like Polish beer and stuff like that.
But the pendulum swinging back, the youngsters, as they say, they don't drink very much. So they're all going to be, seeking out the big reds and the Love Potion 69s from Galco's and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of those soda shops will come back for these kids. They like all the soda.
Everybody's gonna. I want to be either an influencer or a jerk.
That's kids. That's kids today.
You gotta go get a Baltic. I've really on Galco's really quick. The guy that we're talking about, he's like seems like a very sweet man. And he's got like kind of an old-fashioned vibe, and his job is to sell old-fashioned sodas. He got a soda shop. He's a sodaman. And I had heard from like local restaurateurs that he actually like plays really hardball with all the other businesses in town. Like you cannot get like he has the exclusive to these sodas in like the Los Angeles area, and nobody wants to cross the Galco's guy.
Wow. I bought Faygo at Bevmo. I bet he was furious when he realized that.
Oh, shit.
It had to be like 11 miles away.
Bevmo's a big chain, and like just on Galco's, when you go to Galco's, like they do have a lot of the sodas, but do they have Faygo? Have we seen Faygo?
Okay, let's talk about there's fancy Faygo and then there's working man's Faygo.
Yeah, a few things.
And these are very separate in terms of taste profile and in terms of packaging and everything like that, right? Yeah. So Galco's only has the fancy Faygo. Am I wrong? Right.
You're right. They have the glass bottles.
Yeah. Which is it's
the Mexican provision Faygo.
Yes.
Yeah. The Faygo in the glass bottle is a 12-ounce bottle that comes with like the 1950s logo, the Faygo logo with it looks kind of like a Chrysler logo It's a Detroit brand. So it has like a little bit of like a car fender look to it. And yeah, it's made with pure cane sugar, and everything kind of tastes like a different iteration of a cream soda.
So the main
It's really nice.
red pop. That's
Red Pop. The Red Pop. This is the craziness, dude. This is podcasting, Jeff. You don't bring dogs on the radio.
I know. I honestly thought about bringing my dog today. First of all, I do bring my dog. I wasn't there eating.
That's true. I've seen photos.
But I've thought about bringing my dog today, and David's dog Yam is definitely popping off a little bit, right?
So yeah, it would be fun though to see the two dogs go at it. 100 miles apart. That would have been.
podcasting dogs. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The main flavors. I mean, obviously they do their own root beer, they do their own cream soda, but the main flavors are Red Pop, which is what is that, David? Like a strawberry, I think, kind of.
Yeah, and then the other
Red.
It's red. And then how would you define the one that was my favorite as a kid was Rock and Rye?
Oh yeah,
The tighter. I don't know what you would call. What is Rock and Rye?
Rock and Roll it's really confounding. I have never tasted anything that tastes like Rock and Rye. It's like outside of Rock and Rye. Like I've come close.
It's like if rye bread had a guitar, you know?
It's like a fruity cream soda-y. I don't know, like cola-y. I mean, maybe it's more trash can soda that has just a really nice collection, like maybe Dr. Peppery.
I would love to hear how they
more fruity.
Like, what does Faygo explain about Rock and Rye? Like, what's their take on their sodas? Do they know what's in them? Great.
But those, and David and I, in a previous life, before we were podcast impresarios, we owned a movie theater in Detroit, and we sold the classic ones. Okay. Great detriment to our own profits, because one of the great drivers of profit in the movie theater business is selling fountain soda that costs like pennies. And instead we were selling for $2 a glass bottle of soda that cost us like $2.25. We really liked movies, and we were not very good businessmen.
Yeah.
Would people like drop the bottles on, like, was there like a lot of glass being swept up in the darkness?
They made thick enough bottles that, although they were often dropped, they very rarely broke. Because, yes, we would, at the end of the movies, go and clean them up. And always the worst one by far was we would basically monthly show the Tommy Wiseau movie, The Room, because it would always sell out, guaranteed. And Tommy Wiseau had, like, he was even worse at business than us, so he lost track of us. And so, like, we, after a couple times of being like, hey, we showed your movie again, like, here's the money from it. And then, like, he stopped answering our emails. So then we're like, okay, I guess we'll just show your movie and take all the money from it. And so we were regularly doing The Room. And yeah, at the end of those, there would be like, 100 knocked over Faygo bottles that we would have to clean up. But they were very rarely broken.
Well, and they would... Yeah, because the gimmick on that movie is that the set dressing had the spoons on the wall, so everybody throws plastic spoons, and so yeah, at the end of the night, like, because also in Michigan, it is worth noting that the bottle deposit is a full 2 times what it is in most states. There's a Seinfeld episode about it. Mm-hmm. It is 10 cents per bottle. Yeah. And so that 10 cents really does change the math. Like, you are much more inclined to, like, here, I don't think I've ever returned for the deposit. I always just put it in the recycling. If somebody else wants to dig through it, that's fine. But that 10 cents, like, if you have a party, that's like $30 back at the end of the night. It really changes the math. And so, we were also saving those bottles from the theater and trying to recoup.
So today in research for this podcast, I watched an interview with Shaggy 2 Dope about Faygo, and there was a boomer who said, "Oh, well, now you get 20 cents per bottle," and then Shaggy 2 Dope was like, "Really?" And then they kind of moved on, and that boomer fucking doesn't know what he's talking about.
So it's not just 10 cents, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Unless something has changed since December.
no.
I can't imagine, though. No. Like, because Michigan is the home to the Great Lakes. Until like the late 80s when they changed this law, the Great Lakes were just filled with cans. So they had to really incentivize you to do. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to jump on you there.
So Faygo describes Rock and Rye as a delightful combination of creamy vanilla and bold cherry flavor.
Oh, vanilla cherry. Okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
I've never tasted anything like this in my life. Some of this unique flavor possible. Something else, a cherry.
Let me ask you guys. Sorry if I'm. When you were kids, like obviously you had Coke and Pepsi, but Faygo was just a regular part. Like if you went to a birthday party or something like that, there would be a 2-liter bottle of Faygo, right?
Yeah, it was pretty regular, and it took me a while to realize that it was only a local thing. Like I thought just everybody had Faygo, but then I think probably not seeing it in movies, I was like, "Where's their Faygo?" And also the thing that Faygo was famous for too was they had the odd sizes. Like they had the 3-liter bottle,
Right,
and very very strange flavors. Also, I feel like Moon Mist was more like. Moon Mist, sorry, my dog is being kind of annoying, but Moon Mist was another weird flavor, and now that I think about it, it was like when you first start to get your first job and like have your first money, you don't know how to spend it, and you can't drink yet. Getting like weird Faygo flavors was like one of the few ways you like. When I've had my first paycheck, I remember spending it on like trading cards, comic books, and Faygo.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned at the top there's like 2 versions. There's like the high class version and then the like proletariat Faygo. And that was truly, like David said, they came in 3-liter bottles instead of 2-liter bottles. Even the individual serving was 24 ounces. And they made easily 30 flavors, and they were all uniquely bright colored. Like when you going to a party store, well, in Michigan, they're called party stores. So going to a party store in Michigan, you would just see, like, why would you drink Coca-Cola when there is every fucking color on the light bright rainbow?
Like, does that add some higher context here? Let me throw in a little context. Because if you're a little bit younger, you grew up in like the post Mountain Dew Code Red America, where every major soda company tries outlandish like flavors and colors and stuff like that. But at the time, early 90s, your options were regular ass Coke, regular ass Pepsi, diet of both, and that's it. And then it was like black and white. You know what I mean? It was like in that movie Pleasantville when everything was black and white. And then they drank Faygo, and all of a sudden there's color everywhere.
They took a bath and masturbated, and then they could drink Faygo.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, Tubin was in that movie?
He was like, masturbating, and he was on color.
All right, I got to put a pin in this real quick because like every time y'all throw out a wild ass Faygo flavor, and I think me and Adam both have like the full list of all the Faygo flavors. But what's Moon Mist flavor?
Blue looks like Windex.
Moon Mist. Well, there's 2 Moon Mists. There's Moon Mist Blue and Moon Mist Green.
Oh, I think I've ever.
Isn't Moon Mist Green? I think is similar to like a Mountain Dew maybe or a Surge.
Okay.
I feel
like Moon Mist was kind of almost like Gatorade Arctic Blast or something.
I don't know if this is going to show at all. The logo, yes, like Mountain Dew.
Yeah, maybe it was their Mountain Dew. Okay.
Yeah.
But there is Moon Mist Blue.
So what is the blue one? Maybe I'm
confusing. There's Cotton Candy Blue.
Oh.
And then there's Moon Mist Blue.
Is this Moon Mist Blue?
Okay, I'm not crazy. There was Blue Moon Mist.
So I do want to just mention, because we are talking about the bourgeois Faygo versus the proletariat Faygo. Like, the graphic design they're really telling you like what the market is versus like when you look at a normal Faygo, which comes in your 23 ounces or your 3 liter, like your odd numbered Faygo. That's like, I have a printout of firework flavored Faygo, which yes, is by Bomb Pop.
Yeah.
I did drink a Bomb Pop Ghost Energy drink on my way into the record, just in honor of Faygo. But like, the graphic design on like the more common Faygo, I guess, is like, it's a little junky. Like, it looks like cheap soda.
But I love that about it. I mean, why would they do anything else? They're telling you exactly what you're getting, and they're telling you it's a party and it's going to cost $1.50 and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, for the longest time, it was, I would say it was closer to like an Arizona iced tea than it was like a major soda, because they kept the prices. It used to just be 99 cents even. And then, their entire, like you said, Jeff, their graphic design was kind of tipping the hand a little bit. But in that way, it's kind of surprising to me. And I wonder if it is the relationship to the band or the movement of juggalos or what. But there is like, it's like those those like disposable cups when everybody, like Fuck Jerry and all those people, everybody was wearing the shirt that had the old cup Dixie logos on. Yeah, the Dixie cup. And like everybody wanted to make like a big, decorate their bedrooms like LaCroix or whatever. It's like something about the juxtaposition of the Faygo colors and the way that those colors bled into each other was not as appealing. It didn't get like kind of the cult aesthetic reassessment.
Yeah. I was looking. So I was at this liquor store that I go to a lot in Yucca Valley, looking for Faygo, and we will talk about how hard it is to find Faygo outside of Detroit. But I was like, on the off chance I'm in an independent shop, slim possibility they might have Faygo, and they had like some like inexpensive looking sodas that felt like they were indistinguishable design wise from Faygo. Like, there was a soda called Big Blue, and it was bright blue, as so many of our favorite Faygo flavors are, just real nasty neon blue. And like, it had like that same kind of graphic design that is just like, you know, first shot, like with just a few stripes of colors and the logo and like, you know, some stock photo or some stock imagery or whatever. But like, it has a very tossed off design about it, I guess. Don Draper's not taking that Faygo logo into the meeting with Roger Sterling instead.
Hey, I want to Photoshop Don Draper holding a fake nuts.
A 3-liter.
Speaking of liquor stores, like, I'm now realizing too that if you grow up drinking Faygo, eventually when you can drink alcohol, you switch over to Buzz Balls. Because that's like the alcoholic version of Faygo.
Yeah. Or put those little like airplane whiskeys into your Red Pop or Pina Colada Faygo.
Yeah. Are you really, Nate? Did you just remember a visceral high school memory of drinking alcoholic Faygo?
No, you know, I was a good boy and I didn't drink alcohol until I was 21. Actually.
Okay. Right.
But also, and this is a bit of
it was like, if I can't vote, I can't drink.
And that's a promise. That was because we're all roughly the same age and we all came of age. Like, I probably would have done that, and maybe that, like, putting those little airport liquors into the Faygos is why our generation had such an inclination for Four Locos and Sparks. But I kept it pretty chill because my first house was a show house, and I just remember some like shitty punk band playing and then trying to go to the bathroom and everybody was throwing up Sparks. And it just has that smell
And that orange
fruity. Yeah, the orange color and fruity. So yeah, I was never one. I would probably now that I've been exposed to like Fernet, I bet you like a rock and rye Fernet cocktail would be fantastic.
Wow. Blowing my mouth in here.
I might, you know what? I might go get one of the bougie Faygos and try that out. I bet Fernet in the fridge.
So I was reading about rock and rye, trying to find the description. That is where it comes from. It comes from a alcoholic cocktail that's the rye part that they converted into a non-alcoholic. So yeah, it probably would be good.
The world's first mocktail. Insane. Great job, Faygo. Adam, can I actually ask you? You said you watched an interview with Shaggy Two Dope. I'm kind of curious what you learned about the ICP Faygo connection, because I had heard that they spent years promoting Faygo for free. Faygo wasn't even giving them those bottles for free; they were buying them and spraying them all in the audience. And Faygo basically never was nice to them or respected them about it. And
that's right.
I heard at this point ICP are basically fuck Faygo. So
So he didn't say fuck Faygo. He was being generous. And I don't know exactly when this interview was from. It seemed moderately recent, but here's what I learned. So it's kind of interesting that he admitted this. He said that when they were starting out, they saw that all these other rappers had brands that they were associated with. So Run DMC had Adidas, Beastie Boys had White Castle. And then they were like, well, what brand are we going to do? Well, we like Faygo, so we'll just start doing that. And then he said, he didn't even, according to him, he just they were doing a song about Faygo, but it wasn't supposed to be a thing. And then he sprayed it on some guy at the show, and everyone went nuts. And then they were like, I guess this is our thing.
We had to do the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours of Faygo spraying to get it exactly.
And in terms of Faygo, they are very strict about having no association with ICP. Even to the point of they've had a couple Instagram posts that reference music, and everyone flips out, and then they have to backtrack it, and it's they want it's like the way polo was when rappers started to wear polo. They hated it, and they're like, we're a classy brand. We don't want anything to do with this.
What a confounding way to operate. I mean, I guess like you said, polo, we've seen it before, but especially for a brand that it's just on the margins anyhow. There were, I'm probably here too. I'm sure every town has its own version of Faygo, maybe, which is, again, to the credit of ICP. There's a reason we're talking about Faygo today and not Town and Country or Town Club, or Big Red or any of these other fucking jokers. I don't understand what isn't all news good news, all publicity good publicity. Who runs? Who's the
yeah, but okay. To be fair to Faygo, imagine you're a 50-year-old marketing guy in Detroit working for this little soda company, and someone comes up to you and they're like, "Yeah, there's this rap group of insane clowns who've been spraying your soda all over their fans. You guys want to endorse them? Oh yeah, sign us up, Faygo. Yeah, the insane clown soda. Here we are."
What if we instead pivot to a Chrysler looking logo and go back to glass bottles? Let's try that.
I do think that right now in 2026, we are in a different era when it comes to scandals and stuff like that. There was a time when things would tarnish people or brands or whatever.
People used to feel embarrassment at one point.
That's right. And these days, the idea of that happening is pretty small, unless it's whatever. Yeah.
I want to push back on this for a second, and we might want to get into a little bit of the history of Faygo, but look, I'm a Southern California guy, and when you mention everybody's got their regional soda brand, I don't know if Southern California really had so much regional soda brands, and I'm willing to be corrected on that, but I don't feel like I grew up with like, well, this is our local soda.
So we didn't have Cactus Cooler.
Is Cactus Cooler like something unique to Southern California?
It's also like Arizona and New Mexico and stuff, but
Okay.
it's not. Yeah.
I mean, when I left California, Arizona was everywhere at that point. So it didn't feel like a regional brand to me. And I know it is. Is it from New Mexico?
Cactus Cooler?
Oh, Cactus Cooler?
Not Arizona iced tea.
Okay.
Cactus Cooler.
Okay, Cactus Cooler straight out of Arizona.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
wonder if it has something.
Go for it. Sorry.
Sorry, I just wonder then maybe it has something to do with like the industrial age and factory work and creating like lower priced things, regional lower priced things to capitalize on factory workers' breaks. Like, because in my mind, it's like Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh has theirs, New York, all these towns, all these Rust Belt places have their own mustards, their own sodas, their own chips, their own everything. And yeah, maybe that's just the expression of
also
industrial age capital. I don't.
That's true, but also like anything in Southern California that's like a regional thing eventually becomes a national thing. Like McDonald's was a regional Southern California thing. Taco Bell was a regional Southern California thing.
I think our regional soda is the $30 Kylie Jenner smoothie from Erewhon.
That is the unique thing about Southern California regional stuff is instead of going national, everybody has to come to you. You have to take a vacation to buy the goddamn soda.
Gotta go get the In-N-Out boat there. That In-N-Out, I guess, kind of being that sort of. We want to dig into a little bit of the history of Faygo real quick, since we're getting into it. It's from 1907. And I loved this. So I guess iconically, I had heard this before, and I believe it's true, but it's two Russian baker immigrants, Ben and Perry Feigenson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And their original Faygo flavors, so they were bakers, and they were like cake frosting flavors that they had left over.
I'd heard this. Yeah.
So fruit punch, strawberry, and grape are they're like, we're too poor to make frosting. I guess that's butter, egg, dairy. I don't know what's considered frosting.
Yeah, something like that. Sure. It's like,
but let's just get some carbonated water and use up this extra stuff.
well, also it should be mentioned that Prohibition started at 1920. So this is when the soda jerks, and I mean they already existed, but this is when it became the huge thing because you couldn't get anything else.
That makes so much sense. Rock and rye, take the rye out.
Rock and rye was an early flavor. Ace High, and Wikipedia says it was similar in flavor to Knee High, which I don't know what that is. Also,
I've never seen Ace High. I don't know if they picked that one.
But it's got a lot to do with. If you at least ever read the Wikipedia, they're obsessed with like how many delivery trucks that they had. Like,
Deputy Baby Brad.
yeah, is that they're just traveling the streets of Detroit with? We got one truck. Okay, in 1942 they got their second truck and they were able to expand their reach. Their little horse-drawn carriages. I wanted to play this game with us a little bit, real quick. I know we have more history to get to. But in 1921, right as they were expanding, getting more trucks, more horse-drawn carriages to distribute, it used to be Feigenson Brothers soda, and they decided that Feigenson was too immigrant-y, so they shortened it to Faygo. And David, with the exception of you, who's got a pretty, straight and true kind of last name, the rest of us have a little immigrant-y kind of names here on the show. How would y'all shorten your name or anglicize your name for a soda brand?
Oh, wow.
I mean, my name was anglicized or un-American. It was originally, I guess, at Ellis Island or whatever. It was Alschwang, and they were like, "That's what, Alan." Am.
Think about the sodas, okay? How about Alan?
Alan Cola sounds like a brand.
It does, yeah. Like, well, maybe for my last name is Faustyn, and so maybe
Faust
you could shorten it to like Faust Soda, yeah, and make it like a pepper soda or something. We'll day.
Speaking of your last name, can I bring up at one point a long time ago when we had our movie theater, we showed a like a movie that was about like the Muslim community, the punk community among Muslims, just like Muslim punks and their bands and stuff. And it was like just a documentary, and we showed it, and then of course all these crazy ass people saw that we had like an ad in the paper for a Muslim punk movie and left us insane, racist, Islamophobic voicemails. And one of them was calling, and he clearly like Googled our theater and found our names, and he was mad, but he was just like, the message was just like, you guys are showing a Muslim punk movie? Looking at Nathan Faust? Yeah, of course you're the devil on this.
The bargain to sell 50 tickets to the Talkbook Wars.
Nate, so this might not be interesting to anybody but me. You just pronounced your name Faustyn, but don't you normally pronounce it more like
Faustyn? Yeah,
Boston?
Rhymes with Boston. Yeah, I think I was just trying to lead into the Faust element.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
No, that is the proper. Faustyn is the proper. I don't know if it's anglicized or not, but that is the proper, at least multi-generational pronunciation.
Faustyn.
Maybe Faustyn Boston cooler.
Wow.
There you go. Love that. Mm-hmm. But that means you have to have an O and at your name, at the end of your name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's otherwise an O.
People won't get the.
Or you put the O afterwards. So yeah, Boston.
I might lean into the like hazmat thing. Like I know that Mountain Dew's got like code red. My last name being Harmat's just, hazmat soda, dangerous, delicious.
Dude, when I was 10, if I saw a hazmat soda, I'd fucking buy that. Yeah, Surge. That was my life back then.
So I should say that my last name, which is Fligston, is my grandfather's, not very far back removed, attempt at anglicizing the name. Very poor attempt, in my opinion, because it was originally Fligstein. There's a soda, I don't know. It would be like Fliggy or something like that. Yeah, something good.
So do we want to jump back into the history a little bit? That was a little bit of a diversion out of our history segment, but
sure. So let me know when you get to the 50s.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm about to get to the 50s. What's going on in the 50s?
All right. This is my favorite part. In the 1950s, Faygo, this is from the Detroit Historical Society, so you know it's true. In the 1950s, Faygo was sold only in Detroit because it had limited shelf life. At that time, chemists determined that impurities in the water prevented the pop from staying carbonated. But then they found a new water filtration system, which allowed them to go further. So basically, the water was real bad that they were.
The lead-lined water.
Well, and it has gotten better. The Detroit area's got great water these days, right?
They do. It was because we had such bad water that they had to have like a massive cleanup program because, well, this is not Detroit, but in the 80s, Cleveland's, their like main river set on fire because it was so loaded with like oil and shit. And, we're sharing the same water. Detroit River Fleet feeds down there. But, yeah, it was pretty bad. But, yeah, now they have one of the cleanest waters. And we import it to make with our Faygo. We're drinking clean Detroit water.
When it was years ago, this is one of those stupid years ago, I was watching Dark Water with Mark Ruffalo, the Todd Haynes movie. And it's all about him being a lawyer trying this thing about the water supply being tarnished. And they're like describing the symptoms you get from drinking all this water. And I was like, oh, dang, that sounds like my childhood. Eczema and asthma and all this shit. And then, so thankfully, when they cleaned up the water source, now Detroit water is among the best in the country. Extra fluorinated.
The Great Lakes are pretty clean, right? Can't they just send a further out straw?
Well, we sold most of the Great Lakes to Nestle, so
Yeah. We would have to do some sort of bargain with Nestle.
They let us put the straw.
On that particular topic of bad Faygos, in the 60s, they introduced their Ohana line, which I think has shifted in the last few decades, but it was a premium product line at the time, a bougier version, and it had actual juice in it, like a Spindrift kind of thing. And they had a Royal Hawaiian Pineapple Orange that the juice was not sterilized correctly, and so it went rancid, and then the bottles were exploding on shelves.
Whoa. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think they've downshifted it to the traditional 20. They still do have the Ohana sodas, but they are now the traditional 24 ounces.
Mm.
I didn't even think of that as being part of like the tiki craze. Faygo jump tiki craze. That's sending IEDs into
A guy in his smoking jacket and a cigarette in like Eames chair about to crack a Faygo and it just bursts.
Just Don Draper.
In the later seasons when he's like wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
He's got big sunburns and wears a newsboy cap.
Yeah. So they have mascots. Are either of you familiar with their mascots?
No, I don't think I know the Faygo mascot.
The Faygo Kid and oh gosh, now
The Muppets. I have them. That's are you talking about the Muppets? Wilkins and Wantkins?
not talking about that, but
Wantkins. I think.
about them.
Just Jim Henson did a few ads for strawberry soda selling with Muppet characters, Wilkins and Wantkins.
Whoa.
And I think they did their ads. Like I think that they were like kind of like Ernest or Joe Isuzu, where like you could hire these ad people to do your more regional ads, like wherever you were.
Muppets are fucking sellouts, dude. They'll just we're on praising, chilling around it.
Highest bidder. Yeah, so it was a Faygo Kid and Black Bart, which sounds much more offensive than I think it actually was, because I think that was like an outlaw in the 1800s.
Yes.
A white outlaw named Black Bart.
Yeah, only looking at the photo here, only the mustache's implication would be offensive.
And we should just mention, and I do want to hit some of these Faygo flavors, but Faygo's been sold a bunch of times. It was it got bought from the Fagenson family in 1986 by Tree Sweet Products. Then it was sold to the National Beverage Corp in 1987. And are they still? Is that who still owns them? Do you remember?
I don't know.
I don't have any sales beyond the National Beverage Corp, but even though it's been sold to a national beverage corporation, it still remains like pretty regional. And it's like I was talking about trying things on my morning show that I do. Like there is one store in the Morongo Basin in the high desert where we live that does sell Faygo. They only have like 3 flavors, but I took a special trip out there to buy the Faygo flavors to try them on the radio. I think it was cotton candy, blue raspberry, and one I can't remember the third one, but like you do see Faygo outside of your Galcos' and your like really specialty soda shops outside of the Detroit area. But are y'all seeing Faygo very much on shelves outside of Detroit?
Dude, you know where I've seen it a lot lately? And I'm not going, okay? I'm observing from the outside. But do they still call them head shops? Like weed pipe stores. Like glass pipe stores all have like a little cooler in the front, and among the drinks in there is usually like an energy drink with like a raptor claw on it, and it's usually like the cotton candy. I don't know what. Maybe they taste good when you're like road
That
trip
seems like
or something.
ICP. That's an ICP Venn diagram.
Yeah, they're just they won't pay ICP to endorse them. They won't officially tie themselves, but they know where the juggalos are and how to sell them.
The juggalos are in vape shops. So
That's the danger about being a juggalo is like your vape might explode, your Faygo might explode.
Yeah, you're Ahana. Oh man, my rig is juicing. Do you have the National Beverage Co? Is that the same large conglomerate that bought LaCroix? Because LaCroix is also a Detroit soda water.
yes, it is. Yes.
It is the same one. So they just came in and rated our history.
Is Shasta, is that a Canadian thing? Shasta, do you know? I don't know.
We had Shasta growing up in California.
It's from from that general area, but I want to say it's on the other side of the the lake. But yeah, so LaCroix, Shasta, and Faygo.
So they own Shasta too? Because Shasta, it seems to me to be the closest to Faygo.
Okay, I'm totally wrong about that. Yeah, they're from Shasta, California, so I'm totally wrong about that. Yeah, but yeah, they own Shasta, LaCroix, and Faygo.
They're scooping up all of our regional operations. I drank Shasta growing up. I didn't know that was our regional thing. I'm just a very self-centered Southern California. Yeah.
You do have a soda. Shasta.
See, I would be curious too, because I remember. So this is like kind of funny, like alignment, I guess, because Faygo. I associated Faygo with being a unique, individual, good product, and Shasta I associated with being like a dollar store product, to me. Yes, Shasta was the name brand, but it was the name brand of a non-name brand, if that makes sense.
I always felt like how y'all feel about Faygo, where like it felt like, oh, it's its own thing, and like, are we having Shasta? Are we having Sunkist? Like it does, which is kind of your preference, which orange soda you prefer. It didn't feel cheap to me growing up.
See, but that's interesting because maybe that's National Beverage Co. positioning itself against itself in its own market, because really they're the same. It's like it's a fucking orange soda, a grape soda, a red soda,
So I read that National Beverage Co. considers Ohana to be a separate brand. So apparently,
really?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it's just part of Faygo. And I want to mention another thing about history, which is that Faygo claims that they originated the term pop. Did you guys use pop as kids to refer to soda? Yeah.
Yes, I basically moved out and I almost had to train myself out of it because no one knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It actually, now that I feel more comfortable in my skin as a Southern Californian transplant, I kind of wish I didn't throw away pop. I wish I would have dug my heels in and made people learn around me. But I thought I had the same experience. Like pop, no one knows what you're talking about. So eventually I had to start saying soda.
I say pop. That's certainly an affectation of mine. I'm doing stolen Detroit valor, of course, like calling soda pop. But I always say pop around the house. I'm always like, oh, do you want a pop or whatever? Just so I think it's cute.
I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah, it's more fun.
I'm done being ashamed. I'm going to be me.
I want to ask you guys the Mr. Faygo question. If you're competing in the pageant to see who gets crowned Mr. Faygo, which hot Detroit boy gets to be Mr. Faygo? What does Faygo mean to you? Does it instill a sense of hometown pride?
Yeah, Faygo to me represents grit, hard work, determination. All the values that make Detroit what it is. You're just at the assembly line, stamping out car doors that are going to take America to work. And what's going to power you? It's going to be 24 ounces of Blue Moon Mist. That's how you're going to get it done.
You're just doing that GM commercial that came out that was Eminem voicing that.
Made of pure elbow grease. That's what Faygo is.
Faygo. Now I'm gonna do the more nostalgic version of it. Faygo represents the crack of the bat, the opening day pitch, the springtime blooms, the melting ice into the Detroit River, going to Belle Isle and having a late night barbecue, watching the Grand Prix, eating a Buddy's pizza, Detroit Square Pizza. Faygo represents the Detroit Tigers, all the fun stuff I remember around my childhood is Faygo coded. And I would just encourage everybody to Faygo to the polls this November. Faygo is like, it is weirdly, uniquely, probably the most ingrained of my Detroit time. Because I think both you and I grew up in like lower class families. So Faygo is like kind of that is the treat, you know?
Yeah.
4 ounces of red. Because even if you could buy a Coca-Cola, a Cherry Coke or some shit, okay soda, whatever they were doing in the 90s, you want that extra 4 ounces when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you need it. You're growing. You need that 4 ounces of stuff. Pop, I mean. Sorry.
Do we want to hit some flavors? Because they have more than 50 flavors of Faygo. And we've kind of danced around this a little bit as if we were like a background groupie at the ICP show. We danced around the Faygo. But
a juggalette is what they're called.
But there's like a lot of wild flavors. We can't really hit all of them, but we're saying Red Pop and the Rock and Rye were some of the early ones. There's like a bubblegum flavor,
Bubble pop,
blueberry lemonade, peach melon, pineapple orange, which
melon disgusted me.
Really?
It's not good.
It was not my thing.
Wait, what was the other one you said after peach melon? There was one that I liked.
After peach melon, there was there's firework, there's rock and rye, pineapple orange.
Pineapple orange. I liked pineapple orange.
Okay. Pineapple orange is kind of the cactus cooler, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know Twist?
Yeah, I can see it in the.
Is that their?
I don't remember what it.
Yeah, that's their.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember that one.
They have a gold Faygo Gold.
Whoa!
Is that? I think that's ginger ale, right?
Fuel Hauser's Faygo Gold.
Yeah, it says ginger soda.
They have their cola, of course, candy apple, which I assume is a caramel apple. Root beer, rock and rye, red pop. What's 60-40? Do you see that one?
Yeah, it's like
60-40 was. It's like a squirt.
Yeah, it's basically
it's a mixture.
Like Sprite, but a different balance.
It is 100% a mixer. I don't think I've ever seen anybody drink it without alcohol. 64.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. There's a blackberry melonade, which that's maybe a few too many things.
Yeah.
The eight is what pushes it over. Yeah, massive.
Palmberry punch, moon mist, as we talked about. There's a flavor called Dreamin'.
That's creamsicle.
Oh, okay, like orange vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 50-50 bar. What's y'all's favorite flavor of Faygo? Our Detroit boys.
Like I said, growing up, rock and rye was my go-to. But man, now that you're bringing up this firework one, I don't think I've ever had it. You've got me very intrigued.
I assume it's off pop.
Yeah, it is.
But that's cherry, lemon, and blue raspberry, I think.
It is. It's hard when you leave a place and you don't have, like, you're limited in your ability to return. Like, my scope, when I return to Michigan, I do tend to get a red pop, like, every time. Mm-hmm. But if I were to see some of these sodas. Like, I do like the Ahana. I do remember that one being really great. I remember there being one that was like, it was like a trash can of berries that I really liked.
Surprisingly sounds good. Well, even with that sentence, I still am intrigued.
It's interesting too, because like the one, there's like one holiday one that they used to do that was like, I feel like it was like chocolate gingerbread or something. Like it was something fucking nasty, but I remember really liking it. Or maybe it was like pfeffernusse or something. But I mean, the whole premise of most of those are I feel like they're all designed to highlight. This is like pre-viral marketing. It's like when you go to a party store, there is usually an entire case of Faygo right next to the Better Made potato chips. And which actually, Better Made, I have to really quickly, sorry, big aside. We were talking about how the stiff upper lip, staunch Faygo people couldn't get behind ICP. Better Made is the local potato chip brand. And in the 90s and early 2000s, they had radio commercials that encouraged you that if you could not afford the $1.19 low price of a Better Made pack of potato chips, you should use the 5-finger discount.
Wow.
That was in their radio marketing. Those were approved commercials.
I love that.
Steal this chip.
Yeah.
Steal this chip.
I do have some Faygo crime news that I'm obsessed with. Did you see this, Adam?
Let's get to it. Crime Faygo.
This is from June 27, 2025, so about a year ago. Saginaw Township in Michigan.
Saginaw
Township in Michigan. So the suspect in this incident is Quentin M. Allen. I don't know, that's a relative.
Oh, David.
This sounds like my people. We do get involved in Faygo crimes. That's me.
Okay, so
He anglicized the wrong part of the name.
he goes to a bank and he tried to cash a bad check and then like took an employee hostage. So there's this big standoff and police negotiators are negotiating with them for like hours and hours. And he says, "Get me a Faygo Red Pop." So they put the Faygo Red Pop on a drone, fly it to the bank. He sticks his head out of the window to get the Faygo and they blow him the fucking way.
Wait, they kill it? Holy shit.
Just for a bad check? And other things.
Yeah, the Michigan State Police sniper perched on the roof of a nearby AutoZone took the shot as he was trying to get the Faygo off of the drone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
They should have given him one of the exploding Faygos. That's how you do it. Sell yourself a sniper.
Faygo is the ultimate bait.
Yeah.
It's Bugs Bunny,
Don't trust cops. Just generally don't trust cops, but especially if they're piloting a drone full of soda to you, don't take it. Don't take it.
Dude, this has me really questioning the entire Faygo operation because let's see, they're refusing to align themselves with a very cool music act, and instead they're aligning themselves with the state police.
To be honest, this story sounds like ICP lyrics.
I got bugs on my nugs and Faygos on my drone.
Do you have any more about Faygo, Adam?
A little bit.
Okay.
Nate, do you know who the most recent celebrity spokespeople were for Faygo?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, I have a guess. Can I take a guess?
Sure.
I bet you it's Dax Shepard and what's his wife?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
No.
They're the acceptable Detroiters.
More local.
Okay.
Or they can just tell you. But Jameer Gibbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who is that? So he is one of the best players on the Detroit Lions, and I have a feeling that he's not going to be a spokesman much longer. David Montgomery.
Oh yeah, he just left town.
Play with that. You would we lost former Lion of 4 weeks ago. He is not. And
yeah, I will say the cool thing about them was they were the two running backs for the Detroit Lions, and they got the nickname Sonic and Knuckles because one was fast and one was strong. Although that's kind of reducing them. There's more to them than that. But the one guy left, so they broke up Sonic and Knuckles, and to commemorate it, David Montgomery just got a gigantic Knuckles tattoo on his back. So
is the thing of Knuckles that he's drawn? I played those games. I didn't know he was supposed to be strong or whatever. I thought he was just red.
Well, red pop, dude.
Like red pop, yeah.
Now that adds up. We got C
with Moon Mist, yeah. This all adds up.
Well, any final thoughts about Faygo, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
No, I celebrate it. For one thing I'd like to recommend to you that's like some Faygo related found footage is look up the clip of Sharon Osbourne on Howard Stern in the late 90s where they had ICP on, and it's their feud, which is all about Faygo because basically she briefly managed this new metal band called Cold Chamber who went on tour with Insane Clown Posse, and every single night all of their gear got destroyed from ICP spraying Faygo all over it, and it led to a huge rift with the band. And then when Sharon Osbourne finally got her own she basically ran Ozfest. She refused to book ICP because of the years of them ruining her band's gear with their Faygo.
I think that's that's fair.
Yeah.
I tied with Sharon Osbourne on that one. Soda is hella skimmy. It's hard to get out of stuff.
Yeah.
It is one of the odder audience participations I can imagine, because they have their own like three-day festival, the Gathering of the Juggalos, and just the amount of sticky soda that you would have in the woods, all over, like with little grass clippings all over you and like Jello shots and all that shit. Like it does seem. It's trial by fire. Like if you really want to be a juggalo, you need to deal with stickiness in a way that most adults cannot.
Yeah.
I always hear that like when I have friends come back from Burning Man, I'm always like, oh, everybody's like walking around in weird, sexy outfits, and I'm like, do you like get it on at Burning Man? Like, oh no, it's too sandy, it's too dry. And I would imagine that at the Gathering of the Juggalos is too sticky to actually have any real romance.
It's too sticky. Everybody's stuck together. I know. Well, and I know, and I feel bad because ICP is Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J. And unfortunately, Violent J has hit some health issues and he's no longer allowed to tour. He'll do like one-off shows. So Shaggy 2 Dope goes out on his own. And without the power of the duo, Shaggy 2 Dope in most venues cannot do the Faygo. And I only know this because when I was on tour with Everything Is Terrible a couple summers ago, we were booked the night after Shaggy 2 Dope at 2 different venues. And we found out that we didn't have to worry about the stickiness because there's no more. He's not allowed to do the Faygo.
Well, can I also bring up
the venues got wise?
They got wise. And also closing thoughts. Again, just to go back to the massive mistake that Faygo made in not just running with ICP and just embracing the Juggalos is the fact that actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Detroit has another regional soda called Verner's. And you don't know about Verner's because there was never a group of insane clowns who endorsed them. So,
right. Yeah.
Sorry, Taproot or whoever, whatever shitty Detroit deck. Sponge wasn't running around spraying Verner everywhere, so. Verner's the shitty 12 was their town club.
Dude, Verner's makes their own insane clowns like the monkeys. Something.
The Wicked Mime Crew.
Well, I was gonna suggest maybe we take a moment in silence for Violent J, but maybe we should do that off the air. Maybe we,
And Violent J, listen, man, maybe there can be a second act of Violent J's life, and he can move to LA and join the LA clown community. And
you'll film them on 90s cameras.
yeah. Live at the Elysian Theater. Violent J.
you could get into like the Los Angeles vibe and become mindfulness J.
That's West Side J. Actually, if Violent J came to LA and got into the LA clown scene, he could actually freely spray Faygo whenever he wanted. So it would be a great expression of comedy.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap this episode up, but David Allen, Nate Faustyn, sorry, you got me, Nate Faustyn, with all the Faustyn sodas, but Nate Faustyn, David Allen, they're Loose Meat. They do the Loose Lips podcast, which we love. One of my very favorite podcasts. Anywhere else people can come find you if they want to.
We're Highland Park TV. That's a big thing. If you find their YouTube, we've worked on a bunch of videos that are on there. And yeah, our podcast and
You have an ongoing saga about a cum store.
yes, true. Yeah, you can check out our multi-part series about the cum universe and the sperm wars. You've made it this far through the ICP talk. You ready for Hell talk?
Yeah.
And
we also annually do the single dumbest exercise that we could come up with, which I think it's probably time to start promoting as we're only a few months away. Every summer ends on Labor Day, and we, for about a decade now, have been doing Labored Day. It's a hashtag that we pretty much own, and we make
celebration of memes and
a celebration of memes and puns and bad labor jokes that we just can't stop with. So if anybody still uses Instagram or any of the social media platforms,
everybody has basically switched over to the metaverse at this point. But take off your goggles and go on Instagram.
You can get right. You can check in. We do all sorts of. We celebrate in many ways. Live streams, all sorts of live Adobe Photoshopping, if that sounds exciting. Yeah, so we'll start promoting it now. But
Oh yeah. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. For Adam Flakeston and myself, thank you for tuning in to Clean Up on Aisle podcast.
Thanks.